What is the purpose of school? Well, interestingly, it's just to condition you into being a good employee. That's why factories used to have alarm bells, the same as in a school, to let you know when to get up and go out for your break, when to come back, when to start work, when to finish work. Right, do forgive me if I get a little passionate and a little bit excited. I'm going to really try hard to stay on track here and stay focused. And just wait till the end for the wisdom of the day. There you go, that's my effort. Right, as a hook. Right, okay, so I just said about the whole idea of school is to train you and condition you into being a good employee. That was the whole reason it was invented, and for some other nice reasons to get children off the streets a little bit. But there we go. All right, I'm going to try and keep this as brief as possible and keep moving on. But I'm hoping I won't get too evangelistic against for my point. Right. Okay. Second question I've got here is what's the difference between public school and state school? Okay, well, state school is again what I just said. It's about training an employee, a young person to be an employee, how to sit, how to stand, yes sir, no sir, free bags full sir. And yet a public school, a private school, teaches individuals how to become leaders, how to manage people, and how to get the best out of people. You might think sort of politician and upper echelons of CEOs, management, and business. So there's two obvious diversions in school systems and what they're designed for. All right, the third one here I got is what's the difference or what's the reason for different divisions and different football teams? What's the purpose behind it? Now, you might think that it's to breed competition. And in some aspects, competition is good. But if you look at most business, competition with business sometimes breeds extra research and development and commitment and focus. But in other areas, it stifles, especially when there's games at play, what do they call it? When a company gets somebody, well, a company can monopolize a particular industry, but also a company can have somebody pay to go and find out and steal all the information from another company. Whereas if you look at, say, Tesla and Elon Musk, not everything, but much of his patents are open to the public in regards to he wants other people to join the race of electrification for cars. That's a story for another day. But the point here is that division, different football teams from different areas, and division is about, well, my team's better than your team. Your team are rubbish. Your team are from this part of the country and they're rubbish. And my team is from that part of the country and they're better than your team. So it's about division. What about, fourth question, what about pay per view? All right, that's to make you feel special, more important. I'm more superior than you are. There we go. So again, another way of getting you to spend your money and distracting you and dividing you and division. Number 5, what's the purpose of the Olympics? You got the Olympics. Well, my country's better than your country. Your country is rubbish. Your country is no good. My country is superior. We got stronger athletes. We got better athletes, despite all the drugging and doping and everything else that goes on. What about the Ashes, the cricket, or the Four Nations, or other rugby competitions? There's a competition is healthy in some aspects, but a lot of it is pitted against one another. There's not a lot of people that are super wealthy, shall we say, and I can think of the top 4 most wealthy people in the world. They don't get fanatical about a particular sport. You take Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Mark Zuckerberg, and who's the other one? Bill Gates. Those are the four richest men in the world, really. And they don't get caught up in the politics and the excitement of this team is much better than that team. And do you know what I mean? They've got other things on their mind. They got bigger fish to fry than to care about who's wearing blue or who's wearing away colours or who's scored this, who's scored that, who's... Oh. All right. Next question. Hang on, I got a side note. Just have a look at this side note for a moment. A completely different question. Just to take a break for it for a moment. What multi-country cooperation celebrates a particular industry or thing that's done together? Now, I know my question was a bit convoluted, but do you get what I mean? What is celebrated where you have countries come together for cooperation? Now, occasionally, a scientific community come together and put something out together and make something good. But it's generally about business and making money, especially when it comes to something ubiquitous as the cold, common flu or COVID vaccinations. Sometimes you might say, well, what about other things that have come together, such as finance? You know, companies come together, different countries come together, and maybe they make the dollar the fiat finance currency of the world. Again, it's about making money, but there's no massive celebration of countries coming together. Well, what about engineering? Again, yeah, you look at, say, for example, here in the UK, the Channel Tunnel and the Concorde and things like that. It does get celebrated, but for a very, very short space of time. Now, please leave a comment down below if you can think of a really big, well-celebrated thing that brings countries together. Because I'm struggling to think of one. I really am. Where money isn't the glue bringing it together. You know? Maybe you might say disasters. You know, a hurricane, a flood, an earthquake brings countries together. But again, that's not celebrated, which seems a shame. Criminalization, that's another area where you might have Interpol or other countries coming together for bringing down a drug trafficker of multiple countries. But again, it's not really celebrated. You know, they're doing something wrong they shouldn't be doing. But it is not talked about in schools and people aspiring to be an international police investigator. All right, let's put that to one side. Getting back to it. Question 6. 40 hours, 50 hours a week? Why is that the number? 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week. You know, self-employed people, side hustle. It's not quite enough to live on, is it, really? And just another sub-question for that. What's the difference between the 1950s and the 1920s in respect to a man's working wage and his man's working hours and a man's living? Between the 1950s and the 1920s, there's a massive change, a massive shift between one person bringing home enough money to happily look after our family, easily look after our family. And to this modern age now, where we say we've got everything so much better, so much more modern. But if we were to think of ourselves as modern day slavery, we're all having to work, you know, we're having to cut back and we're all having to find extra money. Even for charities, there's no money for charities, you know, austere measures where things are being cut back for local services. But that's not new. That's been happening time and time again. Maybe the 2008 crisis. Oh yeah, we can't, the government would be like, oh, we can't afford that now. We can't afford that. Budget's tight. We can't afford that. And maybe back in the 1990s, you know, there was another financial crisis. We can't afford that now. Can't afford that now. We gotta like pull together, pull in the purse strings. And then you go back to the 80s, and it's just again the same again and again and again. Well, maybe actually early 80s might have been the last time there was a massive penny pinch. But generally, things are getting tighter and tighter and harder, and we're having to earn more and more and more money just to survive. Interesting. Okay, number 7. What is the mindset between going to the gym and working out hard and pushing yourself, and the mindset of somebody going for a walk, going for a stroll? Interesting, because again, some of the most smartest people on the planet and the wealthiest people on the planet often go for a walk to de-stress, to allow things to sink in and to percolate and to think. You know, it's to get away from all the sensations of buzzers and emails and phones and people. You're going away for a walk. You're getting out and you're allowing things to mull over and subconsciously sinking into your brain. And even all the biggest philosophers and anybody of any importance, they would go for a walk. They wouldn't work out in a gym. That's putting your body and brain under stress again. Interesting thought. If you've got a different viewpoint to that, let me know in the comments. It's very interesting, I think. Okay, last one. Social media. What's the point of social media? If not for, look at the Joneses. They got a brand new car. Look at the Smiths. They've got a brand new house, and they've got a third car, and they're having other children. Look at them over there. They got this and they got that. And that breeds jealousy. And so you got to work harder, earn more money. You got to try and look that you're doing well and surviving and coping. Look, you've got something on HP, but they don't know that. They don't know. You got everything on HP. You got everything on loans and credit cards, and you're in debt with up to your eyeballs. It's all about appearances to try and look better than somebody else. That seems to be the only reason for social media. All right, okay. It's interesting. It's interesting. All these distractions, all these manipulative ways to keep you busy and focused and your head down doing stuff. And if you don't, and this is where I come on to the wisdom of the day. If you don't lift your head up every now and then, smell the roses, enjoy life, and take your time, then you'll get left behind. So the actual wisdom of the day is the first step to recovery for alcoholics is acknowledging that you're an alcoholic. Very much like the system is rigged. And they don't play by the rules. When I say they, I mean the man. I mean those that have got a lot of money. They don't play by the rules. You could just take any number of them, of the big corporations. They're not paying tax like you're paying tax. They get tax benefits, but that's another whole story. So the system is rigged, and you have to be aware that you are in a system. You're in a broken system that is designed specifically to put the thumb screws down on you and me. So first thing, you need to be aware that you're in a system. That's the first step. All right, so that's it for now. There's lots of interesting things we could get into, interesting conversations about different aspects of rebuilding your life and realizing what the reality is. But I don't want to get up on my soapbox for too long. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Are you getting out of the system? Are you getting out of the rat race? What are you doing to unplug and any other funny buzzwords that you want to use? What are you doing? Let me know in the comments if you've got some thoughts on it. Right, that's it for today. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now. You're still here. Okay, as you can probably guess, the echo, I'm in the hallway now, and I'm house sitting. This beautiful house in Somerset. The customers have asked me to come back again. I think this is like the 4th time I've been here. We've got a couple of dogs just down here. Very happy. I'll put in a picture, but they're very good dogs, and I'm very happy to be looking after them. And there's a cat upstairs, which is no bother at all. So, if you may remember last time, I said I was going to do the 3-peak challenge. I might have started 1 or 2, but just to let you know, I did finish the 3 peaks. I didn't do it within 24 hours like a lot of the youngsters do. You know, I'm not that fit and healthy. But I did have to take a couple of days off just to relax and let my feet rest. I had new hiking boots, and they rubbed a little bit, but my legs were a bit tired. So that was 3 mountains in 5 days. Whew. made me feel my age a bit there, I suppose. Still thinking about getting a bus, just saving up some money, and I'm just doing more and more house sits. And I've started to look at web design, or learning to do web development, mostly in regards to WordPress, and then maybe later I might go into Figma and Framer. Other than that, really, I'm just saving up right now and still living in my camper van in between times. If you've got any interesting side hustles that you can do location independent, let me know in the comments below. All right, here we go. Quick tour of the downstairs kitchen, which is really quite nice, and I don't know, like a family home, you know, well looked after. Got done with some of my laundry, got some notes and stuff down there. Hot tap. Yeah, it's a lovely place. Really, really nice. I'm really grateful and happy to be here. But yeah, thanks for stopping by and asking and wanting to know a bit more about me. But that's me. Let me know if you've had a good week, if you're feeling well and feeling strong and happy and take on the world and beat them at their own system and game. Let me know in the comments. Right, that's it for now. Take care, and I'll see you next one. Bye bye.